What's up, guys? It's Carly with FasciNATIVE English, where if you are finally ready to take your English to another level and to begin speaking English like a native English speaker, then you've come to the right place. So let's get into it. What's up, guys? I have another abbreviation for you all today, and the abbreviation for today is IMO. Again, that is IMO. And this just means in my opinion, all right? IMO, in my opinion. So you can use this naturally by saying, IMO, I think coffee is way better than tea. And then you state your opinion. You like coffee more than you like tea. So if somebody says, man, tea is just so delicious. I love a good cup of tea in the morning. You can respond by saying, IMO, coffee is better than tea. Which honestly, this is kind of like what I believe. Even though I love me, I'm from the South, right? I don't know if you guys know that about me, but I'm from the South. And we have something called sweet tea, which I believe with all of my being that sweet tea was sent by Jesus himself to us because it is heavenly. All right. I love me a good glass of sweet tea, but I do love my coffee, and I have to have my coffee every day, but I don't have to have sweet tea every day. Like maybe once a week, it's like a treat for me. So IMO, coffee is a little bit better than sweet tea, but that's just my opinion. All right. So you can use this naturally when you're giving your opinion on something. Okay. Saying IMO. Now this is an abbreviation. So a lot of times you'll see it in text messages or, written down somewhere. People just put like IMO, blah, 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 blah. Usually in texting, maybe a comment on social media page, maybe an email. It's very informal. So if you want to put this in your email to your boss, maybe don't do that. It's very informal, but IMO just means in my opinion. All right, guys. So I have a story for you all today.
And I always have a story for you all.
So my story that I'm going to talk to you all about today is kind of controversial. So please don't cancel me. Don't hate me if I say this, but in my opinion, IMO, I think that K-pop was better 10 years ago than it is now. I said it. I said what I said. I love K-pop, and I really do enjoy listening to Korean music. I like all forms of Korean music. I love K-pop, but I also love the ballads as well. I love Korean ballads. But I began listening to K-pop when I was, 15 years old. And that was
a long time ago.
Let me try to think. That was like around the year 2007. All right. And I grew up in high school when I was 15, 16, 17, 18 until now. I listened to music like Big Bang.
Wow. Fantastic, baby.
It's a K-pop group. They are my all-time favorite K-pop band. I live and breathe Big Bang. I will die being a hardcore Big Bang fan. All right, guys. I love me some Big Bang music. But then also there was like Girls' Generation, and they were a really good band. And then we had 2 p.m. before they broke up. You also had 2 a.m. And then you had SHINee, and you had Red Velvet and Girls' Generation. Did I say Girls' Generation? I think I said that one. So Youngshide. And then you had, oh my gosh, there's so many. Now I can't remember them that I'm thinking about. I'm being put on the spot here. But we just had so many different good girls groups. Orange Caramel. That was a good one. And I felt like K-pop was kind of at its peak back then. I felt like, wow, there's a lot of different types of bands because all of them had their own look too. And then they all kind of had their own sound as well that was unique to them. But it was all with the times too. So you're hearing this K-pop music, and yeah, it's different because it's K-pop. But then you're also hearing a similar type of music in English, from artists at that time. This was 2007 to 2012 maybe. And then you had Psy that came out with Gangnam Style.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
And that's kind of what I feel like Psy's Gangnam Style really made K-pop become more accepting globally, because I remember I was in Korea when that song came out and it played everywhere all the time. Every store I went in Korea, every time I was like on the side, like walking down the sidewalk, I could hear it blasting from a store. It was like
Oppan Gangnam Style.
and you know, the dance in my head, and I just, you know, it was always like that. And then I came to America, and I remember I came here in 2013, like May, for just a week. Like I just had a short vacation. I came to see my family, and my parents picked me up from the airport. And of course I'm like playing with the radio. I didn't want to listen to my parents' oldies music, so I'm playing with the radio. And what do I hear?
Gangnam Style.
I haven't even been in America for an hour coming back from Korea, and I hear Korean music on the radio. I was like, what? This is the first time I ever heard Korean music in America. So I was like, wow, okay. You know, IMO, Korean music is better than American music. They're both good, but like at that time I was like, yeah, Korean music's better. So America, good for you. But you know, they had all these good artists back 10, 15 years ago. And now, I'm not gonna lie, there are some good artists now. You have BTS, you have Blackpink. I think a lot of people are more aware of K-pop, like globally. BTS, Blackpink, New Jeans, the list goes on and on. I know there's more, you know, I'm thinking off the top of my head here. But I feel like although they are very good artists, IMO, it's just not the same. K-pop 10 to 15 years ago was amazing, to say the least. And I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's because that's my youth, and so I have kind of a sentimental attachment to the K-pop songs that came out in the late 2000s, 2010, you know, ish, because I was a teenager at that time. So of course that was my musical time in life. Like I listened to music all day, every day, it seemed like, you know, and I did enjoy K-pop because that was right before I moved to Korea. So I was very interested in learning more about the culture and the language and stuff like that. So I would listen to K-pop a little bit more than I do now. But it just seems like compared to the artists that we have these days, they're getting so much hype, which is a slang word, just means they're getting a lot of attention these days that I think is rightfully deserved. Like they're very good artists. BTS, obviously amazing. Everybody knows BTS.
How many hours do we fly?
You know, Blackpink. They're on up there too. New Jeans is up and coming. There's a lot of artists these days that are their fame is well deserved, but I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on the artists from 10 years ago too. Sleeping on is another expression we use. I did make a video on that if you want to go back and watch the sleeping on video. But anyways, I think, you know, in my opinion, IMO, it was better back then, but just people weren't ready for it. Like the world wasn't ready for K-pop in 2007, 8, 9. They weren't ready for it. And so even though these artists from back then were so good, not a lot of people knew about it. Of course, Koreans knew about it because it's K-pop, it's their country. But on a global standpoint, not a lot of people knew about K-pop. It was like very here and there. You could definitely not turn on your radio in America and hear K-pop back in 2008. Now, I turn on my radio and there's always at least one K-pop song. This morning, I was on the way to the gym. The radio was on and it said that there's going to be a jingle ball, which is, you know, an event that they, like a lot of radio stations do for Christmas. And it said that NCT is going to be there. NCT is a Korean band. And I was like, Coachella, a famous music festival. All right. They had Blackpink. And I think they had, Big Bang was invited as well. Big Bang was invited. I think BTS has played in places like that too. Like things that used to be like solely for like American artists, some Latin artists are now heavily influenced by K-pop too. So I feel like maybe it's just me ranting. You guys, a lot of you guys watching this might care less about what I have to say in this video. You might be like, Carly, okay, you're just ranting about how K-pop music isn't as good as it used to be, you know, like a grandpa voice, like back in my day. Yes, a little bit low-key, maybe I'm saying that, but also I just feel like it's just my opinion, okay? IMO, K-pop was better 10, 15 years ago. It's still good these days. I still listen to it. I still enjoy it, but I do like the songs from 2010, 2008, 2009, 2007. That era of music I think was a lot better. but maybe it's just my opinion, IMO. All right, so I hope you guys have a better understanding of this abbreviation IMO. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next video.
이듬해질 꽃